scenes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, part of the reason I'm asking, I guess, is because it is quite meta, right? That so much of the film is about your sort of own sexual discovery through a voyeuristic lens. Obviously the major antagonist in the film quite literally representing the camera box. That's also, physically in front of you as you're an actress within a film portraying an actress, alongside an actress portraying an actress in a film, etc., etc., etc. So there is kind of, I think, because that sense of voyeurism is so essential to the plot. I guess I was just really curious about how, if you were thinking about that, or if you were able to kind of separate yourself from that process. I wasn't just asking to be a pervert, I swear.
Pervs welcome, man. Sex positive.
No, you guys shot in BC, right?
Yeah,
In Canada.
yeah.
That's very exciting. I grew up in New Jersey, and a very wow. Did I just get to hear woo? Really? Wow. We're everywhere, man.
Shout out to
Crazy. And I grew up going to camp at what is very famously Camp Crystal Lake. So they shot Friday the 13th in Blairstown, New Jersey, which is in Warren County where I grew up. So sometimes I tell people, they're like, oh, where'd you grow up? I'm like a horror movie town. And they're like, ha ha ha. I'm like, no. Like I actually grew up in a horror movie town. And obviously, it's one of the quintessential summer camp horror, I guess, installments that sets the groundwork for a movie like this and to satirialize it. What was your favorite horror movie growing up?
Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Honestly, Silent Hill.
Great answer.
Silent Hill, any heads in the crowd?
Totally.
Yeah, that was one of the early films, sort of my equivalent for Miasma for Chris. One of the early films that I saw when I was young, that horror movies that I was like, oh, this is my worst nightmare, because it is about a sort of haunted child who has these crazy night terrors, and her mom doesn't know why she's leaving the house and almost falling off a ledge in the middle of the night, and she looks up kind of the adoption papers, figures out she's from a haunted town. They try to go to get answers, and the kid gets lost, and so it's about being separated from your mom. And I think for a little girl, that's the scariest thing. And so that was one of my first horror movies that really freaked me out. But I revisited it not long ago, and I started to kind of see it from the mother's perspective, and realized that it was a movie about love. And also it's really scary and really well done. It's an adaptation from a video game, and also there is a creature in there that unrelated to Little Death, but has an a ceiling vent quality to the head. It's instead of a square, it's kind of a triangular version. But yeah, I don't know. It's I love that movie. It's beautifully shot as well. Really beautiful filmmaking.
Yeah, excellent color.
What's yours?
That's a good question. I think also some sexy nurses in that.
Yeah, there are sexy nurses.
Love the sexy nurses.
But their heads are scary.
Yeah, but the costumes are great. That's what I picked up on. I was like, I want to dress like that. And I do sometimes.
I know.
And you just reminded me why, actually.
Yeah.
My favorite and the one that most affected me are probably really different, I think that the one that most affected me is so random, but it was the first It.
Yeah, for sure.
My uncle let me watch it when I was 6.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Not great.
Same. You're causing me to remember that. That's true for me as well.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if this scene is in the movie, because I haven't revisited it since. I watched the new one. It was great. Love Bill. But the old one, I'm so traumatized by it. I just vaguely remember this scene where somebody's in a shower and there's blood in the drain and he's in the sewers. And until I was 17 years old, I had to shower with the bathroom door wide open
Oh my God.
in case I had to run out. and like book it down the hill. And you know, I grew up with little brothers and stuff. They'd be like, "Shut the door!" I'd be like, "Nope, no way, I'm not getting got by that clown. Not me." So that one really affected me. I know it's a kind of a cliche answer, but like, it really affected me like a lot.
Totally.
And then I don't know what my favorite is. I love horror so much. I love it. It was one of the reasons why I was so excited about getting into the premiere at Cannes to come see Miasma. And like, you know, I think that the ability to enjoy a film that's meant to be a horror film, but also feel safe while you're watching it because you have permission to laugh and permission to have fun. And you know, there's so many moments where I felt like the audience was a little bit like unsure what was gonna happen, and then the tension would get broken with an incredible joke, which I loved, and I love seeing you in that element, obviously, as well. I guess another question that I have is sort of about the environment on set, because I know it can be tough when you're like walking around and everyone's covered in blood, and you know, you're dealing with heavy subjects and heavy themes, and you're in the middle of nowhere. And obviously I've heard so many great things about what a team effort and team endeavor it was on the set, and I just wanted to know more about your experience with everyone.
Yeah, it was really, really incredible. The thing that I really love about, one of the things I love about Jane is that they make a point to like really reach back and like uplift other queer filmmakers. We had Avalon Fast, who, if you'll notice, the person in the tie with the camcorder in the Miasma film, that's Avalon. And Avalon was with us. Avalon's an amazing filmmaker. I highly recommend check out their movie Camp. It's called Camp. But Avalon was shooting a feature-length documentary about the making of our movie, so that will come out at some point. But you know, we had also Alice Neo McKay, who's an incredible Australian horror director, and yeah, Louise Weird, who played queer assistant, and it was just like such an incredible community space, because we were shooting at a sleepaway camp, so it did have kind of that vibe. Like, I do feel like the environment was aspirational. Like, it is everything that we say we want to cultivate. Like, it is a incredibly joyful, safe, queer space. And like, I think that's like why it was all possible. Everyone felt good, and they felt like they wanted to contribute and work really, really hard for the other people there that they felt like true love for. And so, yeah, it just was such an incredible thing, and such a fun time.
You can really tell. I think it really shows. Everybody just seems so trusting of each other, and like everyone's there to have a good time and do cool shit with their friends. You know what I mean? It's very much the energy. I have to ask a music question. I know, very cliche of me. No, seriously, I have to. I'm contractually obligated. Just kidding. This soundtrack.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, the score was done by one of my favorite musicians ever, Alex G, who has worked with Jane on so many of their films, and actually is part of the reason why I wanted to work with Alex a couple years ago. But the cues, the needle drops in this movie, I mean, I walked away singing that Donna Lewis song that was playing as we walked in, you know, for like weeks. Like, I was left feeling like, I love you always, forever, never. It was like, I was jaw agape at that sync. All the REM placements, they really set the tone for like that sort of 80s, 90s, that sort of like vaguely time ambiguous, you know, nostalgic coming of age feeling. I think that the film does so well. What were you listening to on set?
I made a Camp Miasma playlist with some of those songs, because some of them were written into the script, and so I knew. But like, I was listening to like Waste Blood and Air and King Woman and God, I have a Miasma playlist. Maybe I'll share that. It's just like so.
Yes. The people
Yeah.
want the playlist.
it's like yeah, it's like it was all over the map, but like I wanted it to feel like punk and goth and also like sexy and romantic and just like all of the things in there. And then randomly I have like some I have Elliott Smith, yeah, just
Of
like
course.
yeah,
Yeah,
like just,
Alex G's grandfather.
yeah.
For sure.
I just it's like random, but yeah, there was this very specific like vibe, and I mean Long December, Unreal, Counting Crows playing the Hollywood Bowl tonight.
Yeah.
And you guys, thank you for coming here.
You made the right choice. You definitely made the right choice.
Indeed.
But the people need the playlist for sure. I think I have time to do one more question, so I'm going to keep it really short because your time is valuable, and we have a date at Cheesecake Factory that we can't be late to. Yeah.
Taking her out next.
Big spend.
That's the hand
Big
I
spend.
We're gonna get that view of the lobby. Yeah, only the best for you, my darling.
I've never been, so you know.
I can show you the
You
world.
told me you were going to teach me some new
I can
things.
take you
So.
to places you have never seen before, Queen. Okay? That's what happens when you're with me.
Can't wait. Nobody's ever.
Nobody's ever taken.
Nobody's ever treated me. That's
Yeah,
what
that's gonna change.
Okay, last question. God, there's so many that I could ask. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I guess rapid fire, keep it short. It doesn't have to be like sentimental or a big deal, but
Okay.
I would maybe say like.
Will you marry me? No, I'm kidding.
Keep it short. Yes or no? Easiest question of all time. What were like? I want to know what were either like your greatest takeaways or like your favorite moments of working with both Jillian and Jane.
Jillian, I appreciate.
And Jack.
And
Gotta
Jack,
know
of
about
course.
Jack because we love Jack.
Jack has lived many lives. Shout out to Jack Haven and Little Jeff. Jack has lived many lives. Jack is one who, on like a comedic level, I was just like, we locked into a frequency where I was like borderline peeing my pants. Like, truly, like that level of laughter, you know, you get a couple of those a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, just absolutely out of your mind. Jack is like such a deep and special person. Jillian has like a really diligent process. She's very meticulous about choreography and wants to have in-depth conversations about the scene work, but also possesses like this spontaneity that I was like, oh, this is a really cool fusion of these kind of two disciplines. And Jane is just like, yeah, I feel an eternal soul tie, and like my sort of combo answer is like, working with Jane felt transformative, and also the conversations that we had around the subject matter of the film changed me fundamentally as a human being, and the movie changed me fundamentally as a human being, and it helped me to examine my own relationship to sex and my own body and comfort or lack of, and like it just opened up so much for me in a way that like my truest and sincerest hope is that like that is what can happen for folks if like perhaps like me they had not yet fully faced the thing that the film is, you know, exploring. And so that just freaking slaps. It was great.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, I mean, what do I know, but my one piece of advice would be watch it again. I think it's really a film that, you know, on the second watch, third, fourth, fifth, if you're me, you really start to internalize, I think, some of the messaging in it in a way that you don't necessarily get the chance to right away, because obviously the film is so engaging and so fun and so funny that it kind of just, it knocks you right off your feet before you get a chance to sit in the in maybe the lessons that it has for you, or the realizations that there are for you to have. And maybe not even necessarily about yourself, but just like a new way of thinking and realizing the genius behind the filmmaking as well, and what a lot of different moments and motifs represent, the second meanings behind them. So I say give it another watch. You know, the first one is so much fun, but once it really sits with you, it's just transformative. It's really, really special, and Hannah's a superstar, so, you know.
Everybody.
Bye, guys.